Egypt, land of pharaohs and pyramids, where the past and present meet along the banks of the legendary Nile River. A country where millennia-old monuments defy time. And the sands of the desert hold secrets of ancient civilizations. From the bustling streets of Cairo to the tranquil waters of the Red Sea, Egypt is a mosaic of fascinating contrasts. The scorching heat of the desert has shaped not only the landscape, but also the resilient character of its people. In this journey through Egypt, we will explore the wonders known to all and reveal hidden treasures that few have had the privilege to see. From lush oases in the heart of the Sahara to the paradise beaches of Dahab, we will discover a country that goes far beyond the famous pyramids. Get ready for an adventure that spans millennia of history, culture, and natural beauty, revealing Egypt in all its glory and mystery. Location. Egypt is a transcontinental country, meaning it is one of the few countries in the world that spans two continents, Africa and Asia. Geographically, Egypt occupies a strategic position in the northeastern part of the African continent, with a territorial shape resembling an irregular square. Most of its vast territory is firmly anchored in Africa, while the Sinai Peninsula, a mountainous and historical region, protrudes as a natural bridge to the Asian continent, connecting millennia-old cultures and civilizations. The country's borders are defined by a fascinating mix of seas and lands. To the north, the blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea wash its coast, providing an important outlet for international maritime trade, while to the east, the Red Sea, with its waters rich in marine life, not only offers stunning natural beauty, but also serves as a vital shipping route. To the west, Egypt shares a long border with Libya, where the vast Sahara Desert extends, creating an arid and challenging landscape. To the south, the country borders Sudan, a nation that also curiously hosts valuable ancient pyramids, though less known than the majestic Egyptian structures. In the northeast, Egypt shares borders with Israel and the conflict-ridden Gaza Strip through the Sinai Peninsula. This region holds significant geopolitical and religious importance, as Israel is considered the Holy Land for three of the world's major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This strategic location positions Egypt as an important link between Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean world, significantly influencing its history, culture, and role on the global stage. The geographical diversity of Egypt is impressive, with the country divided into 4 major regions that form a fascinating mosaic of contrasting landscapes. The Nile Valley stretches like a green and fertile strip, a true linear oasis of life amidst the desert, while the Nile Delta forms a productive fan-shaped area where the river divides before emptying into the Mediterranean. The eastern and western deserts are vast and imposing, covering more than 90% of Egyptian territory, creating a setting of enchanting yet challenging beauty. The Sinai Peninsula, as mentioned earlier, is a mountainous region that serves as a bridge between Africa and Asia, completing this diverse geographical panorama. To manage this vast and diverse territory, Egypt is divided into 27 muhafaza, which can be translated into English as governorate or province, each with its own capital and local government. These work together with the central government to efficiently manage the different regions of the country, from the densely populated areas of the Nile Delta to the remote oases of the desert. Egypt's topography presents striking contrasts, with the highest point in the country being Mount St. Catherine, located in the Sinai Peninsula, reaching an impressive altitude of 8,625 feet. This mountain is particularly significant in religious tradition, known as the place where, according to the biblical narrative, Moses received the Ten Commandments. On the other end of the topography, the lowest point in Egypt is found in the Qattara Depression in the Western Desert, surprisingly 436 feet below sea level, creating a remarkable altitude range that illustrates the country's geographical diversity. The pulsating heart of Egypt is undoubtedly the Nile River, which, at 4,133 miles long, is considered the longest river in the world and literally the lifeline of the country, providing water and fertile lands in a territory dominated by deserts, being essential for agriculture and the subsistence of the population. It is worth noting that the question of which river is the longest in the world is a long-standing debate among scientists. In 2008, a study by the National Institute for Space Research, a federal agency in Brazil, indicated that the Amazon was longer than the Nile, measuring about 4,345 miles, generating new discussions that revived the debate. In addition to the Nile, Egypt is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north and the Red Sea to the east, two important maritime routes that connect the country to the rest of the world and play a crucial role in its economy and trade. The climate of Egypt is predominantly desert, characterized by high temperatures during the day and cooler nights, with significant variations between different regions of the country. According to data from the World Meteorological Organization, in Cairo, the capital, the average annual temperature ranges from 57.2 degrees Fahrenheit in winter to 82.4 degrees in summer, while in the more remote desert regions, it is not uncommon for temperatures to exceed 104 degrees during the day, creating a truly challenging environment that profoundly influences the lifestyle and culture of the Egyptian people. This combination of transcontinental location, diverse geography, and extreme climate makes Egypt an extraordinary place on the world map, where geography not only shapes the landscape, but also profoundly influences the history, culture, and way of life of its people, creating a truly fascinating nation full of contrasts that continues to captivate the imagination of people around the world. History. The history of Egypt is a fascinating journey that stretches over millennia, from the times of the Pharaohs to the modern era. Around 3,100 BC, ancient Egypt emerged as one of the first civilizations in the world, unified under the legendary pharaoh Narmer. This civilization flourished along the Nile River, developing its rich culture, a sophisticated writing system, hieroglyphs, and achieving monumental architectural feats like the Pyramids of Giza. During the Old Kingdom, which lasted until 2181 BC, Egypt experienced an era of great prosperity and construction, exemplified by the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, responsible for the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as Khufu's Pyramid. This is the largest of the 3 pyramids of Giza and the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world that still exists largely intact. The Middle Kingdom, which lasted until 1650 BC, saw a cultural renewal and territorial expansion, while the New Kingdom, which lasted until 1069, marked the peak of Egyptian imperial power. During this period, some of the most iconic figures in Egyptian history emerged. Ramses II, known as Ramses the Great, ruled for 66 years during the 13th century BC, leaving a legacy of impressive monuments and military achievements. Ramses II had his mummy discovered in a royal cache in the 19th century and is now displayed at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, becoming one of the most valuable artifacts in the world, with its monetary value considered incalculable. Tutankhamun, although he ruled briefly in the 14th century BC, gained worldwide fame with the discovery of his intact tomb in 1922. Egyptian mythology, fundamental to ancient culture, included a variety of gods, such as Isis, the goddess of motherhood and fertility, and Osiris, the god of the afterlife. These divine beings were central to the beliefs and religious practices of ancient Egypt, influencing all aspects of life, from daily rituals to grand ceremonies in temples. In the 1st century BC, Egypt entered its Ptolemaic era, ruled by a dynasty of Greek origin. The last and most famous ruler of this lineage was Cleopatra VII, known simply as Cleopatra. Her reign, which lasted until 30 BC, marked the end of ancient Egypt as an independent nation, culminating in Roman conquest. After centuries of Roman and Byzantine rule, Egypt was conquered by the Arabs in the 7th century AD, initiating a period of Islamization and Arabization. The country underwent several Muslim dynasties, including the Fatimids and the Mamluks, before falling under the control of the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century. Egypt's modern era began with Napoleon Bonaparte's expedition in 1798, which, though brief, stimulated renewed Western interest in ancient Egypt. In the 19th century, under Muhammad Ali's dynasty, Egypt experienced significant modernization and the beginning of its struggle for independence. British rule, which began in 1882, lasted formally until 1922, when Egypt gained nominal independence. However, British influence persisted until 1952, when a military coup led by Gamal Abdel Nasser established the Republic of Egypt, marking the start of a new era in the country's history. Population. Egypt, the cradle of one of the world's oldest civilizations, is home today to a vibrant and growing population. According to World Bank data from 2023, the country has approximately 112 million inhabitants, making Egypt the most populous country in the Arab world and the third most populous in Africa. This large population is distributed quite unevenly across Egyptian territory. The overwhelming majority of Egyptians, about 95% of the population, live on only 5% of the country's land, primarily along the Nile River and in the Nile Delta. In the urban areas of the Delta, the density can reach an impressive 3,885 inhabitants per square mile, while vast stretches of the desert remain virtually uninhabited. The Egyptian people are known for their warm hospitality and strong sense of community. Modern Egyptians are a fascinating blend of ancient and contemporary influences, proud of their historical heritage, but also open to global trends. Family plays a central role in Egyptian society, with extended family ties being highly valued. Egyptian culture is rich and diverse, reflecting thousands of years of history. Traditional values such as respect for the elderly, generosity, and honor are highly prized. The official language of Egypt is Arabic, specifically the Egyptian dialect of Arabic, which is widely spoken and understood throughout the Arab world due to the influence of Egyptian media. English and French are also widely spoken, especially in urban and tourist areas. Regarding religion, Islam is predominant in Egypt, with about 90% of the population identifying as Muslim, primarily Sunni. Christianity, mainly in the form of the Coptic Orthodox Church, is the second largest religion, representing about 10% of the population. Religious coexistence is an important characteristic of Egyptian society, although occasional tensions arise. In terms of security, Egypt has made significant progress in recent years. The homicide rate in the country is relatively low by regional standards. According to United Nations data, the homicide rate in 2020 was approximately 3.2 per 100,000 inhabitants, which is considerably lower than the global average. The birth rate has decreased in recent decades, but remains relatively high. According to World Bank data, there were approximately 25 births per 1,000 inhabitants in 2023. This represents a significant challenge for the Egyptian government in terms of economic planning and infrastructure. But it also reflects a young and dynamic population that can drive future growth in the country. It is worth noting that while many developed countries, and some developing countries experience declines in birth rates, Egypt and other Arab countries follow a trajectory of significant population growth. This combination of a large and young population, a rich and diverse culture, and unique demographic challenges makes Egypt a fascinating and complex country, continually balancing its ancient heritage with the demands of modernity. Government and economy. Egypt adopts a semi-presidential republic system where power is divided between the president, the head of state, and the prime minister, the head of government. The legislative power is exercised by a parliament composed of the House of Representatives and the Senate. This structure allows for broader representation of the diverse interests and regions of the country. Currently, Egypt is led by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who has been in power since 2014. El-Sisi, a former military officer, rose to the presidency after a turbulent period that followed the Arab Spring of 2011, a time of large popular demonstrations and protests that culminated in the ousting of President Hosni Mubarak after 3 decades in power. Fattah el-Sisi came to power promising stability and economic development for the country. Egypt's economy is one of the largest and most diversified in the Middle East. The gross domestic product, GDP, is around $395 billion, ranking the country 39th in the world. This translates to a GDP per capita of approximately $3,500 per inhabitant, a figure that, while modest compared to more developed economies, represents significant progress for the country in recent decades. The services sector, including tourism, which attracts millions of visitors annually, accounts for about 54% of the GDP. Industry contributes 33%, ranging from traditional manufacturing to growing high-tech sectors. Agriculture, the cradle of Egyptian civilization along the banks of the Nile, still plays a crucial role, making up 13% of the GDP, particularly in the production of dates and cotton. Additionally, revenues from the strategic Suez Canal, which we will discuss later, and natural gas exports are important pillars of the economy. On the global stage, Egypt ranks 146th out of 184 countries in the Heritage Foundation's 2024 Index of Economic Freedom. This classifies its economy as repressed, indicating that there is still room for reforms and improvements in the country's business environment. According to World Bank data, Egypt's tax burden in 2020 was approximately 14% of GDP, a relatively low and normal tax burden for an emerging country seeking growth and development. Regarding the cost of living, in major cities like Cairo and Alexandria, the cost of living is considerably higher, reflecting the rapid urbanization and modernization of these metropolises. The Egyptian labor market presents unique challenges. A large informal sector coexists with modern businesses, creating a complex landscape of opportunities and obstacles. According to World Bank data, the unemployment rate in 2022 was approximately 7.3%. However, this figure masks a more complex reality, with youth unemployment remaining significantly higher, and posing a constant concern for policymakers. Egypt faces significant economic challenges, including high inflation and dependence on food imports. However, the government has implemented ambitious economic reforms in recent years aimed at attracting foreign investment and boosting growth. Major cities. We begin our journey in Cairo, the vibrant capital and largest city in the Arab world. With an estimated population of over 20 million residents in its metropolitan area, Cairo is a true urban giant. Founded in the 10th century AD, the city grew around the Nile River, blending ancient neighborhoods with modern skyscrapers in a unique urban landscape. Cairo is the political, economic, and cultural heart of Egypt. Its bustling streets are a living testament to the country's history, from the medieval bazaars of the Islamic quarter to the elegant boulevards built in the 19th century. The city is famous for housing the Egyptian Museum, home to a vast collection of ancient artifacts, including the treasures of Tutankhamun. Nearby, the Pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx, wonders of the ancient world, attract millions of visitors every year, constantly reminding us of Egypt's pharaonic legacy. But Cairo is not only about the past. The city is a center of education, with Cairo University being one of the most prestigious in the Arab world. The modern financial district, with its gleaming skyscrapers, symbolizes the ambitions of contemporary Egypt. However, Cairo also faces significant challenges, including traffic congestion, pollution, and uncontrolled urban growth, issues that the government is working to address with ambitious infrastructure projects and the construction of a new administrative capital to the east of the city. Traveling north, we arrive at Egypt's second-largest city, Alexandria. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, Alexandria has a rich history as a center of learning and trade in the ancient world. Today, with a population of about 6 million people, the city retains its importance as Egypt's main port and a significant industrial and tourist hub. Alexandria is known for its cosmopolitan atmosphere, the result of centuries of Greek, Roman, and European influences. The city stretches along the Mediterranean coast, featuring stunning beaches and the iconic Library of Alexandria, a modern institution that pays homage to the legendary ancient library. The citadel of Kitbe, built on the site of the ancient Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, is another popular tourist attraction. The city is also famous for its catacombs and Pompey's Pillar, remnants of its Greco-Roman past. Our journey now takes us south to Luxor, often described as the largest open-air museum in the world. Built on the ruins of ancient Thebes, the capital of Egypt during the New Kingdom, Luxor is a treasure trove of ancient monuments that attract visitors from around the globe. With a population of about 500,000 inhabitants, Luxor is significantly smaller than Cairo or Alexandria, but its historical and cultural importance is unparalleled. The city is divided by the Nile River, with the east bank housing the temples of Luxor and Karnak, enormous religious complexes that impress with their scale and beauty. On the west bank, the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens serve as final resting places for many pharaohs and nobles of ancient Egypt, including the famous tomb of Tutankhamun. Luxor is not just a tourist destination. It is a vibrant city where the past and present intertwine daily. Locals navigate between millennia-old monuments on their way to work, while tourists explore colorful bazaars and enjoy hot air balloon rides at sunrise over ancient temples. Each of these cities, Cairo, Alexandria, and Luxor, offers a unique perspective on Egypt. Cairo represents the dynamism and challenges of modern Egypt. Alexandria symbolizes the country's long history as a bridge between cultures, and Luxor transports us back to the height of pharaonic power. Together, they tell the story of a nation that continues to fascinate the world with its unique blend of glorious past and vibrant present. Natural and architectural wonders. We begin our exploration with an interesting fact. The 7 wonders of the ancient world were man-made monuments selected by Philo of Byzantium, the most well-known among the supposed authors, in 200 BC. Today, only the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt have stood the test of time. Philo's selection was essentially a travel guide for his fellow Athenians, and the sites were located around the Mediterranean basin, the then-known world. The 7 wonders of the ancient world were the Temple of Zeus at Olympia, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and the Pyramids of Giza. Speaking of the pyramids, they are undoubtedly the most recognizable symbol of Egypt. The largest of them, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, is a marvel of ancient engineering. Built over 4,500 years ago, it originally stood at 480.6 feet tall and still impresses with its precision and monumental scale. But Egypt is not just about pyramids. In Luxor, the temples of Luxor and Karnak are stunning testaments to the power and grandeur of ancient Egypt. Connected by an avenue of sphinxes, these religious complexes house colossal columns, imposing obelisks, and hieroglyphic inscriptions that tell stories of pharaohs and gods. Not far from there, on the west bank of the Nile, we find the Temple of Queen Hatshepsut. This mortuary temple, with its elegant columns and terraced layout, is a tribute to one of the few women who ruled Egypt as pharaohs. Its unique architecture blends harmoniously with the limestone cliffs that surround it. Traveling south, we arrive at Abu Simbel, one of the most impressive sites in Egypt. The 2 rock-cut temples, dedicated to Ramses II and his wife Nefertari, were saved from the waters of Lake Nasser in a monumental rescue operation in the 1960s. The 4 colossal statues of Ramses II on the facade of the larger temple are an unforgettable sight. Heading back north, we must mention the archaeological site of Saqqara, where we find the Step Pyramid of Djoser, the oldest step pyramid in the world. This funerary complex marks the beginning of the pyramid era and is a testament to the evolution of ancient Egyptian architecture. The country is also blessed with stunning natural beauty. In the city of Dahab, in Sinai, we find the famous Blue Lagoon, a diver's paradise with its crystal-clear waters and rich marine life. Near Dahab is the Blue Hole, one of the most famous and feared diving spots in the world. With depths exceeding 328 feet, this underwater sinkhole attracts experienced divers from around the globe. The beauty of the location, with its clear waters and vibrant corals, contrasts with its danger, earning it the nickname Divers' Cemetery. Strong currents and extreme depths require experience and caution, and unfortunately, several fatalities have been recorded. Not far from there, St. Catherine's Monastery, at the foot of Mount Sinai, offers a unique blend of spirituality and natural beauty. For beach lovers, Marsa Alam on the Red Sea is a must-visit destination. Its untouched beaches and vibrant coral reefs make it a paradise for divers and snorkeling enthusiasts. The coral reefs of the Red Sea, particularly in the Wadi Lahami Safari, offer some of the best diving experiences in the world. Venturing into the desert, we discover the Egyptian oases, true miracles of nature. The isolated and picturesque Siwa Oasis is famous for its natural springs and ancient ruins. Meanwhile, the Farafra Oasis, with its mysterious Jara cave, offers a surreal view of Egypt's white desert. The Karga Oasis, the largest in the Western Desert, is a testament to human resilience in thriving in challenging environments. For a unique experience, Wadi El Weshwash offers stunning canyons and refreshing natural pools amidst the desert. And for those seeking a mix of luxury and nature, Resorts along the coastline, such as Rixos Alamein, provide an indulgent holiday experience with breathtaking views of the Mediterranean. Egypt also has its fascinating quirks. The City of the Dead in El Minya, with its dome-shaped tombs, offers a unique glimpse into the Egyptian relationship with death and the afterlife. The El Bagawat Cemetery, with its primitive Christian chapels, is a testament to the religious diversity of ancient Egypt. For lovers of unusual natural phenomena, the crystal-clear salt lakes in the desert create surreal reflections that mirror the sky and challenge our perception of the desert. And we must not forget El Gouna, a planned tourist town on the shores of the Red Sea, which combines modern architecture with traditional Egyptian charm, offering turquoise lagoons and a relaxing atmosphere. The Suez Canal, one of the wonders of modern engineering, is an artificial waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Inaugurated in 1869, this 120-mile canal revolutionized global maritime trade by significantly reducing the distance between Europe and Asia. Today, the Suez Canal remains a vital artery for international trade and an important source of revenue for Egypt, allowing the passage of about 12% of global maritime trade. Finally, the Colossi of Memnon, two enormous stone statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep III, stand as silent sentinels near Luxor, witnessing the passage of time and the grandeur of ancient Egypt. Egypt is truly a land of wonders, where every corner reveals a new surprise, whether sculpted by human hands or shaped by the forces of nature. It is a country that continues to captivate and inspire, inviting us to explore its infinite riches and marvel at its timeless beauty. Cuisine. Egyptian cuisine is a fascinating reflection of the country's rich history and cultural diversity. With influences from Middle Eastern, African, and Mediterranean cuisines, Egyptian dishes are known for their intense flavors, generous use of herbs and spices, and fresh ingredients. We start our culinary journey with koshari, considered by many to be Egypt's national dish. This vegetarian dish is a comforting mix of pasta, rice, lentils, and chickpeas, topped with spicy tomato sauce and crispy fried onions. Koshari is a perfect example of how Egyptian cuisine combines different ingredients to create unique and satisfying flavors. Another essential dish on the Egyptian table is fowl madams. Made with fava beans, cooked and seasoned with olive oil, lemon, garlic, and cumin, fowl madams is often considered Egypt's national breakfast. It's nutritious, tasty, and typically served with pita bread. This ancient dish is a staple of the Egyptian diet, appreciated for its simplicity and nutritional richness. Speaking of breakfast, a typical morning meal in Egypt may include a variety of items such as falafel, eggs, feta cheese, olives, and baladi bread, a type of flatbread. This combination offers a delicious and energizing start to the day. For those with a sweet tooth, kunafa is a must-try dessert. This sweet, made with thin strands of dough, filled with cheese or nuts, and soaked in sugar syrup, is a true temptation for dessert lovers. A more exotic dish is mumbar, a type of sausage made with lamb intestine stuffed with seasoned rice, ground meat, and spices. While it may seem unusual to some, it is a highly appreciated delicacy in Egyptian cuisine. Shawarma, although not exclusively Egyptian, is very popular in the country. It consists of marinated meat, usually chicken or lamb, grilled on a vertical spit, and served in pita bread with vegetables and sauces. Ta'ameya, the Egyptian version of falafel, is made with fava beans instead of chickpeas. These fried balls are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, usually served in sandwiches or as part of a mise, selection of appetizers. Molokhia is a unique dish made with finely chopped jute leaves, cooked in chicken or rabbit broth, and seasoned with garlic and coriander. Its viscous texture may be surprising at first, but its rich flavor is highly appreciated by Egyptians. For meat lovers, kofta kebab is a popular choice. These skewers of ground meat, usually lamb or beef, are seasoned with spices and grilled. Served with rice or in sandwiches, it's a tasty and satisfying dish. Finally, we have hammam, or stuffed pigeon. While it may seem unusual to some, pigeon is considered a delicacy in Egypt. It is typically stuffed with rice and herbs, then baked or grilled. It's important to note that these dishes are just a few examples of the vast and diverse Egyptian cuisine. Each region of the country has its local specialties, and each family holds its traditional recipes. Egyptian gastronomy is a rich and varied universe, with countless other dishes, snacks, desserts, and beverages that we couldn't cover here. Exploring Egyptian cuisine is an endless journey, full of surprising discoveries and memorable flavors. It's an invitation to immerse yourself in the culture and history of this fascinating country through its unique aromas and flavors. Impressed by the wonders of Egypt? This is just the beginning of our journey around the world. Don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Subscribe to our channel now and turn on the notification bell. With each documentary, we bring a new surprising destination directly to your screen. Share this video with your friends and let us know in the comments which aspect of Egypt caught your attention the most. And remember, on the Real World channel, we don't just show the world, we bring it to you. Until our next trip.